Hi, this is Kevin Souza. Today I'm going to talk about 15 problems your negative attitude created. There are a lot more than 15 problems that your negative attitude creates. Trust me. But we don't have time on this video to cover the hundreds of problems that your negative attitude creates. So let's talk about 15 of them. Not only am I going to talk about the problems, but I'm also going to talk about the solutions. And what I mean by that is our mindset is something that needs to be programmed. Otherwise, the negative bombardment of news, other people's attitudes, the bad things that happen in this world is constantly hitting our heads. And what we need to do, I will say this at the beginning of this video, and I will say it again at the end of this video, is to continually feed our mind with positive thoughts. How? Audios, videos, association with successful people, constant education on why it's important to maintain a positive attitude will dilute the negatives. It won't get rid of them, but it will dilute them. And that's what you want to do. You can plug into something that provides an environment of positivity that will help feed your mind with the positive thoughts that you need every single day. So the first problem that your negative attitude created was you get what you give. What do I mean by that? Well, when you're being, for example, nasty with someone, they're going to be nasty back. So you just got what you gave. No matter what you do, whether it's positive or negative, whatever you give, you get back. And it may not be instantaneous. It may be later on. Don't think, well, it just makes no sense for me to be positive about it because I don't get that back. Yes, you do. You get it back whether you believe you do or not. And that's vitally important to understand that in this life, it's like a mirror. We get back exactly what we give. Giving negative attitude will get it right back to you. The same holds true in reverse, but this video is about the problems that your negative attitude created, so we're going to keep it on this subject. Number 2 problem that your negative attitude created is negative results. All kinds of negative results, and again, we can talk about hundreds of different examples, but we'll give one or two for every one of these points. Negative results affecting relationships, which I'm going to talk about again shortly, meaning if you're angry with someone or you're talking about something in negative terms, for example, the weather. You know, a lot of New Englanders in the wintertime are constantly complaining about the weather for obvious reasons. I mean, snow can hinder people driving. They can hinder attitudes. It's amazing how outside circumstances control our thoughts. It's not how you react to something that's important. It's how you respond to it that will determine the ultimate outcomes of your life. No matter what the weather is, if you can respond to the weather in a positive fashion versus negative, then you're going to be different than everyone else right away. But the ultimate outcome is that your mindset is not affected and it doesn't poison your day. And so that result is positive versus negative. That's number 2. Number 3 problem that's created as a result of your negative attitude is you have relationships with people that get tainted. And it's pretty sad how a negative attitude will taint your relationships with people. Because you disagree with each other, for example, and your relationship gets affected by that. That's not good. Negativity is something the devil feeds on and loves because, the devil just doesn't like people living in harmony and happiness, okay? In fact, there's a lot of people that don't like that either, and that's pretty sad too. A lot of people with negative attitudes aren't even going to watch this whole video. They'll watch, 2 or 3 points and maybe not even any of it based on the title, and they'll be negative about it. But then they'll tell others, and when you talk to other people about something badly that happened, you tend to bring them into your little circle of negativity, and people tend to get negative amongst each other, and the relationships are tainted. So that's just another problem your negative attitude created. Number 4 is you'll get less help. You'll get less cooperation with a negative attitude. For example, bosses. This is a good one for bosses. People that are managers or in a leadership role position, some of them think that they can be little Hitlers running around and telling people, do this, do that, do this, do that, or else, threatening people. You will get less cooperation and less help by maintaining that kind of an attitude. In fact, the boss mentality is the reason why I built an income from home while I was still at work until it was large enough for me to quit working for a boss or an employer for the rest of my life, which started 7 years ago. In 2008, I was gone. I was out of the job market because I built something large enough. And no longer do I have that type of a personality lording over me, telling me what to do, what not to do, and what to think and what not to think, and causing me to want to produce less. As a retaliation, negative is amazing. It just makes you get negative, and it causes more negativity. It just brings it on more and more, and it just blows up into a big rolling snowball. But less help is number 4, less cooperation with people. The next problem that is created by your negative attitude is you get a bad reputation. This happened to me, and so that's why I wrote it down. I, in the past, have been negative about a lot of things, and it was no problem with me voicing it. The problem with that is that people, hey, look at, here he is. There's that negative guy. And I didn't want that. If you have that challenge, just know this. You can change. And when you change and become more positive, the only way that can happen is by continually feeding your mind with positive books, positive audios, association with positive people, and taking action by responding to things instead of immediate reaction. We're programmed based on what's bombarding us in society to be negative and to react negatively to things that are all around us. Building a bad reputation is not fun. That's another problem your negative attitude created. Number 6 is people trust you less. When you have a bad attitude and you're negative and you're angry and everything to you is just not right, it kind of shows your true colors. People look at you and don't trust you. People trust positive, happy people more than they trust negative people. It's just common sense to be positive sometimes. It really is. Less productivity. And that's number 7. I kind of talked about that when I talked about number 4, which is less help. You're productive less because you have such a negative attitude that you don't produce positive results. It's just not part of your psyche when you're angry and you're mad or you're expressing something negative about a situation. You become a lot less productive. And so that's important to know and understand regarding problems that your negative attitude creates. It creates arguments. That's number 8. People love to argue who are negative. It's amazing. They love to debate and argue and show people how they're wrong. And it makes me laugh because those poor souls will remain in that little box of negativity for the rest of their lives. And you don't want to argue with people because, like Abe Lincoln said, the only one that wins an argument is nobody. Because even if you win an argument or think you did or perceive that you did, you still have a relationship problem with the person you are arguing with. That's just another problem that negative attitudes create, is arguments, number 8. Number 9, it creates toxins in your blood. I know this for a fact because they did scientific experiments and they took a person, a calm person, and they took some blood from them and they just injected that into a rat. No effects at all. But then they took a person in the heat of anger and they injected that into a mouse and the mouse died instantly. Negativity creates toxins in your blood. So it makes sense to be positive, doesn't it? Number 10 is that negativity causes accidents. Well, that's obvious. You're not focused on the task at hand. Many automobile accidents were caused as a result of somebody looking at their partner and just screaming and yelling and being negative and not paying attention to the road. So it causes accidents. Or you're in the kitchen, you're arguing with somebody and you drop something, or it frankly just causes accidents. Don't tell me it doesn't, because it does. And don't argue with me. No. Number 11 problem that your negative attitude created is that it attracts dirty looks from others. If you're sitting there with someone, say, in a restaurant, people that are eating, look over at you like, oh, what an attitude he has. And it's just amazing how it just festers and catches on, and it's just disgusting. It's like, oh, get off me. Negativity. Positivity does the same thing on the opposite, folks. I'll do a blog post about that sometime, but I think it is important so that people understand what negativity does in their lives. Number 12 problem that your negative attitude created, it displays your true colors. Let me explain what I mean by that. One of the products that I market is a training on social media on how to make videos go viral. Viral meaning lots of friends and followers and lots of shares. I don't sell that course much anymore. Now it's provided free. In fact, in my author box down below at the end of this blog post, you will see where you can get that free social media training. There was a place for people to request to be able to sell it as an affiliate. It reached the point where I was no longer accepting new affiliates to sell my product because my product's outdated and I just don't want to have new affiliates anymore trying to sell that product. And so I denied their application to sell it. That person came back and said, please, I really would like to sell this. I know I could do a good job with it, etc. And I responded and said, listen, the product's a little outdated now and I'm going to be stopping the sale and adding new affiliates for this product. And that person came back and laid into me and used some language that is just disgusting. In a way, I'm glad that I did not approve that person because of their negative, explosive attitude. They displayed their true colors, didn't they? And that's what happens when you are negative, and just another problem that you have in life. Negativity, number 13 problem is it solves nothing. A person, like I said, may be winning an argument because they're right and you're wrong. And it really solved nothing because all it did was it just showed that person that you're arguing with that you knew what you were talking about and you don't. It just causes nothing but problems with relationships and it solves nothing. Number 14 problem that negative attitude creates is you become obsessed with it. All of a sudden it means everything to you and your whole day is spent talking to other people about how this and that was wrong. You become obsessed about it. Why? What's the point? If you want to become obsessed about something, become obsessed about bettering yourself in life, about maybe creating more income for you and your family. Become obsessed about being positive. That's what I've done in my Facebook. Every post you see, almost every post you see, is nothing but pure positivity and entertainment and explosive excitement and enthusiasm. And become obsessed with positivity if you want to become obsessed, but don't become obsessed with negativity just as a natural result of being negative. The 15th problem, and it's certainly not the final problem, is it shortens your life, a negative attitude. It really does. It shortens people's lives because it's just filled with poisonous thinking and poisonous talking and poisonous actions that happen as a result of being negative in life. And like I said at the beginning of this video, you want to read positive books, listen to positive audios, and associate with positive people. The best way I know to associate with positive people and to be able to be exposed to the kind of positive training that I'm talking about is to join the business that I'm in. Because you will be associating with some of the most positive, successful people that you've ever associated with in your life. I don't care how successful you already are. Click the link below and become happily involved in the business that my wife and I are building. Create a nice income for yourself in addition to whatever income's coming into your household at this time. And at the same time, expose yourself to books, audios, and winners. And by doing that, You will feed your mind positivity and dilute the negatives that are all around us every single day of our lives. There are way more than 15 problems your negative attitude created. And so those are just 15 of them. I hope that this video helped to maybe open your eyes a little bit to what is important and what's not important. And so click the link below, join us, and I'll see you on the other side. This is Kevin Souza. Make it a wonderful day.